Chapter 88. Duo. Zhao Hongling shook her head and interrupted her with a sigh. Forget it. At least we have 3 months. Although 3 months wouldn't change anything, Duo was still indignant. She's just a troublemaker. Lin Yan blinked. Who knows, I might really become popular. Then, I might be able to make it to the top of the sales charts. Duo's face darkened. If you can make it to the top of the sales charts, then I'll serve you tea and listen to your every word. Zhao Hongling arranged a car for Duo to send Lin Yan home. Duo reminded her sternly, you have to be careful when you go out in the future. We can't get the funds to hire a bodyguard yet. Don't get beaten to death. Lin Yan grinned. I know. I won't die so easily. I still have to build an empire for you and Sister Ling. Duo quipped, an empire for the haters? Lin Yan was speechless. Couldn't they just have a pleasant conversation? Lin Yan glanced at her haters and sighed. These haters can't even recognize me when I'm standing right in front of them. Their loyalty is too low. Duo was rendered speechless. Stop joking around. Get in the car. Lin Yan was about to get in the car when the haters seemed to have discovered something. Suddenly, they dashed in her direction. Lin Yan. It's Lin Yan. Lin Yan, you be *tch. How dare you touch my brother? I will fight you to the death. Sisters, hurry up. Beat this *tch to death. For a moment, vegetable leaves, stones, and rotten eggs were hurled at him from all directions. Duo patted the rotten leaves on her head, fuming. You jinx. You have been recognized. Now you're done for. Lin Yan raised an eyebrow when she heard that. No way. How could you recognize me? I have underestimated their loyalty. Duo's face darkened. Someone from the company must have told them. Lin Yan quipped, we are from the same company. Isn't this too unfair? Who would be so wicked? Duo quipped, everyone in the company hates you. How would I know? Lin Yan was speechless. Hurry up and get in the car. In the nick of time, Lin Yan and Duo got into the car and sped away. It's been a long time since I've received such warm treatment from the haters. Lin Yan sighed as she patted her chest. Duo rolled her eyes at her. Everyone can't track you down, so they can only wait at the entrance of our company. And this is just a small group of people. When the filming starts, everyone will know that you're going to join the crew. All the haters will go and wait for you. That'll be the end. Think about how you'll die that day. Lin Yan's heart was pierced by arrows. She glanced at Duo's name on the name tag and felt a little better. Plenty turned around and saw several cars chasing after them. There were also quite a few paparazzi who had rushed over after hearing the news. Duo anxiously urged, Master, drive faster. This section of the road is not easy to drive. I'm already driving as fast as I can. The driver complained. Obviously, he did not want to take on this difficult task. Duo glared at Lin Yan. It's all your fault. Sister Ling is in such a difficult situation, yet she still has to care about you. Chapter 89. Duo was panicking. What should we do? If they catch up to us, the consequences will be unimaginable. Lin Yan remained silent as she surveyed the road ahead. Then, she turned to glance at the cars behind them. Old Zhang, get out of the car at the next red light. I'll drive. Old Zhang was startled. What? You'll drive? Duo snapped, Lin Yan, what are you doing? I thought you didn't know how to drive? Lin Yan replied, I do. Duo glared at her. What do you know? How dare you lie to me? Sister Ling asked you to drive yourself, but you refused. Instead, you took the bus. In the end, you were surrounded by haters. Have you forgotten? Lin Yan had no choice but to take the blame. At that time, her symptoms had been the worst. She had indeed been unable to drive, and she would feel dizzy the moment she touched a car. She had no choice but to take the bus. Lin Yan had no choice but to reply, "I didn't know how to drive before. I just got my license." Old Zhang snapped, "I can't even shake off an experienced driver like me. How can a newbie like you drive? Young people are too reckless." While they were talking, the car had already reached the traffic light in front. Lin Yan knew that she wouldn't be able to explain herself, so she got out of the car. Duo screamed, "Lin Yan! Are you crazy?" Lin Yan snapped, "Get out of the car." Old Zhang had no choice but to get out of the car. At the same time, the light was about to turn red. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the light turned green. Lin Yan stepped on the accelerator and overtook the car in front of her. Duo grabbed her seatbelt and yelled, "Lin Yan! Calm down. Being surrounded by reporters is still better than you dragging us to our deaths." Lin Yan used one hand to dig her ear. Duo, if you continue to yell at me, I will die from the noise." Duo yelled, "Don't hold the steering wheel with one hand." The moment Duo screamed, Lin Yan turned the corner and took a left turn. "Ah!" Duo shrieked. Even the driver clutched the handle. Where did Director Zhao find this artist? Is she out of her mind? However, the two of them soon discovered, Lin Yan seemed to be driving recklessly, but in fact, the car seemed to be controlled by an intricate machine. She overtook one car after another accurately and didn't touch any of the cars around her. She even remembered to follow the traffic rules and use her turn signal. Toto looked at the girl in the driver's seat through the rearview mirror in shock. The girl was wearing a mask, so her face could not be seen. However, the pair of eyes that were exposed were as calm as water, like a sharp blade. It was a look that she had never seen before. It actually made people feel inexplicably at ease. Just as she was lost in thought, she heard a buzzing sound. She had made a beautiful turn and arrived at a narrow road that could only accommodate one car at a time. This forest path was extremely narrow and difficult to drive. If one was not careful, they would drive into the fields next to it, not to mention driving quickly. However, their car was like a runaway wild horse on a grassland, still running smoothly. Chapter 90. By the time Duo and the chauffeur realized what was going on, the haters and the paparazzi were nowhere to be seen. After some time, Duo and the chauffeur finally managed to shake them off. Duo and the chauffeur were still sitting in their seats in shock. Old Zhang, who had been driving for years, could tell that Lin Yan was very skilled. He glanced at Lin Yan in surprise. "Miss Lin, where did you learn to drive? You don't look like a newbie." Duo mumbled, "Those paparazzi are like plaster. Once they stick to it, they won't be able to get rid of it. You're lucky that you managed to shake them off." Duo glared at Lin Yan sternly. "This is a special situation. You can't drive like this in the future. She would be in trouble if she drove like this normally." Lin Yan replied obediently, "Yes, Madam Duo." At Maple River Residences, Lin Yan began to formulate a plan for herself after she reached home. Although Star Entertainment wasn't a big company, it wouldn't be easy to become the top company in 3 months. After Jiang Sifei had left, Star Entertainment still had a few capable second-tier stars. Some of the third-tier stars also had good resources. Although she was considered a celebrity, her reputation was too bad. If she didn't change, she would have to live with this bad reputation for the rest of her life. Other than changing her public image and cleaning up her reputation, the only way for her to gain a foothold in this industry was through strength. Cleaning up her reputation wasn't something that could be done in a day or two. Only with irreplaceable strength would she be able to face all criticism. She had been living like a zombie ever since she had returned to the country. She had been manipulated by others and had wasted an entire year. She had started to shoulder the burden of life at the age of 15. At 18, she had left home to travel to another country. At 22, she had fallen at the peak of her career. At 23, she had been betrayed by the person she loved the most. She had been through the most painful times, so why should she be afraid of being cornered? It was just a fresh start. In the past, Lin Shia had manipulated her. Now, she had to plan everything herself. First, Lin Yan found her Weibo account. Lin Shia had helped her register, so she couldn't trust it. Besides, the content of the account had been terrible. Therefore, she registered a new account, with the nickname, How to Solve My Worries, Only Get Rich. She used a picture of a kitten that she used to raise. It was the first stray cat that she had rescued, and now it was enjoying its old age at the rescue station. Then, she published her first Weibo post, I am me. Fireworks of a different color. After posting it on her secondary account, she reposted it on her main account. My babies, I don't need this Weibo account anymore. Welcome to my new Weibo to play with me _. Lin Yan's haters launched a flurry of attacks the moment she posted it. F***ck. Who's your baby? So disgusting. I feel like vomiting. This scheming B***tch is trying to create hype again. Do you think your dark history will disappear just because you changed your Weibo account? What an IQ. Soon, Lin Yan's account gained thousands of fans. Lin Yan scanned the IDs quietly. Most of them were her hardcore haters. They would follow her wherever she went and scold her. They were extremely loyal. The Weibo post under the new account was quickly scolded. Chapter 91. A little firework typed, Yen Yen, all the best. I support you. Be yourself. I believe that you're the best. Lin Yan blinked in surprise. Was this a fan pretending to be a fan? Sometimes, a fan would put on a fan's disguise and attract more haters than ordinary haters. This was a common tactic in the entertainment industry. However, Lin Yan pondered it carefully and realized that it didn't seem like it. Because she already had enough haters, no one would use this extra move. Besides, this comment didn't seem to be an act by a fan. Haters would purposely praise her and trample on other artists so that their fans would criticize her. The problem was, how could she have fans? In the early days, although her acting skills were terrible, she still had a few good-looking fans. But later on, her face was pale, weak, and lifeless all day long. No matter how good her looks were, they were not liked. Coupled with the baskets of scandals, she did not even have that little bit of good-looking fans. Hence, Lin Yan was shocked by the sudden appearance of a fan. Out of curiosity, Lin Yan scrolled through the fan's Weibo account and realized that she had reposted several pieces of gossip about her. Every single one of them seemed to be speaking up for her. Was she really a fan? Lin Yan's fingers paused when she saw a post that had been posted a long time ago. A little firework typed, I know that I will definitely be scolded, but I can't hold it in any longer. I want to say something. From today onwards, I'm going to be a fan of Lin Yan. Yes, the Lin Yan that you know. She's a beautiful and kind angel. A few days ago, I went to Wei Shufeng's concert. There were too many people, and I fell to the ground. In the end, a young lady protected me and rescued me. Otherwise, I would have broken my bones. Do you know who she is? It's Lin Yan. Lin Yan. That pretentious B***tch who loves to gain popularity. She's really nice in real life. Not only did she protect me with her body, but she even bought a plaster for me. In the end, she didn't even wait for me to thank her before she left. However, her assistant is so annoying. She kept nagging Lin Yan to mind her own business. Oh. She's so beautiful without makeup, okay? She's so pretty. It's a pity that I didn't take any photos. This little firework did not have many fans. There were only a few sporadic comments below, all of which were doubtful. Gentle breeze, hypocrite, it's just a publicity stunt. Wei Shufeng's little cutie replied, "He must be pretending." Lin Yan typed, "What a joke. Lin Yan is beautiful but kind? Are you afraid that you're Lin Yan's army?" A little firework. Actually, I was worried that it was an act at first, but if it was an act, there would have been someone taking photos at the time. The press release should have been out the next day, but there was never one, so it definitely wasn't an act. I don't think we can judge a person based on what we see on the surface. Such a helpful lady is definitely not the kind of person that the internet says. This little firework kept explaining, but no one listened to her. Instead, they all mocked and ridiculed her. Lin Yan finally recalled that something like that had happened. She loved listening to Wei Shufeng's songs. Lin Shia had gotten her assistant to give her a ticket to Wei Shufeng's concert so that she could relax. Naturally, she had gone without any qualms. Chapter 92. At the time, she hadn't known that Lin Shia had been the one who had secretly planned and bribed the reporters. Hence, she hadn't suspected anything about this ordinary Weibo post. If she hadn't seen this Weibo post, she would have forgotten that she had helped a fan. Lin Yan had read all the comments and watched as the little firework spoke up for her. An indescribable feeling welled up in her heart. This feeling of being trusted and protected, so she wasn't alone. So there were people who would work so hard to protect her. In the past, she hadn't really understood this profession. She had chosen it because of Han Yishuan. Even when she had decided to become serious, it had mostly been for the sake of making a living. However, at this moment, she had suddenly discovered the true meaning of this profession. Lin Yan called Wang Jingyang and asked him to buy some food for her. Then, she went into seclusion. Late at night, Lin Yan practiced her acting skills over and over again under the lights. She hadn't graduated from an acting school, nor had she gone through any professional training. She could only rely on her own ability to comprehend and conquer this new field. In the blink of an eye, a week had passed. Lin Yan had read all the professional books and read a lot of movies. She had practiced her acting skills over and over again. For a newbie who didn't know anything about acting, the most difficult part was getting used to the camera. In front of the camera, the awkwardness would be magnified 100 times. Fortunately, Lin Yan had been competing in competitions since she was 18. She had a strong mentality and was good at getting rid of external distractions. This wasn't a problem for her. Even under the gazes of tens of thousands of people, she could still remain calm and composed. This was her greatest strength. Hence, all she needed to do was to master her acting skills and understand the essence of the character she was portraying. She had learned a thing or two about the former after reading a lot of professional books. As for the latter, she had repeatedly watched the videos that Pei Yutang had sent her. She had tried to figure out his every move, every expression, and every tone of his voice. If she could perform 1/10 of his aura, she would be confident that she could control the image of a domineering female president. Lin Yan faced the mirror and practiced her gaze over and over again. Eventually, she felt as though she was going crazy. Phew. I'm exhausted. Let's take a break. Lin Yan slumped against the dresser, exhausted. Sure enough, it was not easy to imitate a domineering CEO. If one's own aura could not hold up, a slight carelessness would cause one to act very out of place and look very silly. As Lin Yan sighed, she seemed to have thought of something and froze. She suddenly realized that, ever since they had met at the mansion, he hadn't looked for her for a week. Once Lin Yan focused on something, she would be so engrossed in it that she would forget about everything else. Recently, she had been working so hard that she had almost forgotten that she had a boyfriend. Holy shit. How could he forget about this ticking time bomb? What was Pei Yucheng trying to do? Although she was a straight woman, she had been in a relationship before. Under normal circumstances, as a couple, it was too abnormal for them to not even talk on the phone for so long, right? Chapter 93. Lin Yan pondered for a long time and realized that there was only one possibility. Given Pei Yucheng's status, it was normal for him to change girlfriends. At that time, he had found her interesting and casually agreed to it. Then, he had forgotten about her. After all, who was Pei Yucheng? How could he possibly care about an insignificant woman like her? She could only be considered one of Pei Yucheng's thousands of admirers. At this thought, Lin Yan felt that everything made sense and heaved a sigh of relief. Indeed, it was as she had guessed. What made Lin Yan even happier was that she hadn't split during her stay at home. Her other personality hadn't appeared again. Everything was progressing in a good direction. Lin Yan felt that she could start planning to break up with him. However, how could she break up with him? That was a technical task. She couldn't find a reason to break up with Pei Yucheng. Lin Yan opened her browser and typed, "How can I break up with my boyfriend?" There were all sorts of answers. Someone said, "Go ahead and do it. If he can't take it anymore, he will break up with you." She wouldn't dare to do that. Besides, she couldn't do it when she saw Pei Yucheng's face. One look and all her anger would disappear. Someone said, "Hire a woman to seduce him and then say that he cheated on you. That way, you will definitely break up with him." That wouldn't work either. Didn't it cost money to hire a servant? Someone else said, "That's easy. Find out what he did wrong. If he doesn't reply to my messages or calls, say that we don't share the same values or hobbies, anything will do." This seemed like a good idea. Lin Yan learned a lot after reading for a long time. So that was how it worked. Lin Yan was in the midst of learning when her phone rang. The moment Lin Yan answered the call, she heard Pei Yutang's panicked voice. "Big sister-in-law. Save me." Lin Yan froze. "Third young master? What happened?" I'm in trouble. I'm really done for this time. Big sister-in-law. Besides you, no one can save me this time." Pei Yutang's voice sounded incoherent, as though something big had happened. "What exactly is going on? Tell me slowly and clearly." Lin Yan's impression of him was that he wasn't afraid of anything. She had no idea why he would be so frightened. Pei Yutang hurriedly explained, "I had too much to drink and got into a fight with Song Yaonan. After that, I went to the police station. My second brother bailed me out." Lin Yan heaved a sigh of relief. "Oh, isn't that fine then?" She thought it was a matter of life and death, so she was shocked. She wasn't surprised that Pei Yutang, who would explode at the slightest provocation and wasn't a scheming person, would fight for no reason. Pei Yutang yelled, "I was fine." But the main point was, "Now my big brother knows about this. Me. Die. Freeze. Got it. My brother agreed to let me be a racer on the condition that I wouldn't get into trouble or ask for help from my family. But now, I've broken that rule." Chapter 94. Lin Yan was shocked. "Is it that scary?" "Of course it's scary. I've been living like this for more than a decade. It wasn't easy for me to regain my freedom. I don't want to go back to that cage. I would rather die than go back." Pei Yutang sounded terrified, as though he had been traumatized. Pei Yutang sobbed as he spoke. "Big sister-in-law, I'm filled with regret. I've been holding it in for so long. How could I have been careless? It's all my fault. Big brother seems to be in a good mood, so I let my guard down. I got carried away and got into trouble." Lin Yan scratched her head and pondered for a moment. "Third young master, actually, I think you can talk to your big brother. Mr. Pei is quite easy to talk to." Pei Yutang sounded incredulous. "Sister-in-law, are you joking? My big brother is easy to talk to? What misunderstanding do you have about my big brother? As long as my big brother has made a decision, he won't change his mind. No one can change his mind. Once I go back, I have to follow the path that he has set for me. I can't make a single mistake. He won't give me a second chance." "Is that so?" Lin Yen couldn't help but feel puzzled when she heard Pei Yutong's description. Although she had only met Pei Yucheng a few times, she felt that he was quite easy to talk to. He wasn't as cold and aloof as Pei Yutong had made him out to be. Otherwise, he wouldn't have let her off the hook even though she had disrespected him time and time again. He had even agreed to her confession so easily. "Sister-in-law, I'm begging you. Come here quickly. You're my only hope now. I'm at my big brother's mansion. Someone will be waiting for you at the door. I called you secretly. My big brother's assistant is coming to confiscate all my communication devices." Pei Yutong pleaded bitterly. Lin Yen was in a difficult position. "Since you said that your big brother isn't easy to talk to, there's no point in me going over. Besides, you might have some misunderstanding about my relationship with your big brother. I've only met him 3 times. He's just playing with me. He hasn't contacted me in 7 days. This was a family matter, after all. Why would a dispensable person like her go over?" Pei Yutong gasped. "My big brother is just playing with you? How could this be? This is the first time my brother has fallen in love. Would he play around with his first love?" Ahem. Lin Yen choked when she heard the word first love. She was Pei Yucheng's first love? What a joke. What right did she have? Was it because she was good at flattering people? Pei Yutong suddenly lowered his voice. "Big sister-in-law. I beg you. Even if you don't believe in your relationship with my brother, don't tell me you don't care about our relationship as father and son." Lin Yen was speechless. What kind of father-son relationship was that? Pei Yutong seemed as though he wanted to say something. However, he was afraid that someone would overhear him, so he hung up. Then, Lin Yan's WeChat notification popped up. "This car isn't going to kindergarten, red packet, Dad. This car isn't going to kindergarten, red packet, Dad. This car is not going to kindergarten, red packet, help. This car is not going to kindergarten, red packet, me." Lin Yen was speechless. This father-son relationship was hard to reject. Lin Yen reluctantly accepted the red packets. Chapter 95. At Cloud Manor, a few bodyguards were guarding the entrance of the living room, expressionless. An assistant in a black suit was checking Pei Yutong's luggage. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows, Pei Yucheng, who was dressed in loose pajamas, was sitting on the couch in the middle of the room. He held a cigarette between his long fingers as he leaned against the couch. Pei Yutong fell to his knees and wailed. "Big brother, I'm begging you. Please spare me this time. I won't dare to do it again. President Pei, third young master's luggage has been prepared. We can head to Country Y now. The school has also been arranged. It's the private school that you personally chose. It's a closed management system. We can start the enrollment process tomorrow morning," the assistant reported respectfully. Pei Yutong glared at the assistant like a wolf cub. F***CKU. I'm not going. I'd rather die than go to that D***Ned place. Pei Yutong howled as he crawled over to Pei Nanshu. Second brother, save me. Say something, please. Help me persuade my brother. Pei Nanshu sighed softly, looking helpless. "Yutong, don't you know Big Brother well? I've said everything I need to say. If I continue to plead for you, it will only add fuel to the fire." Pei Yutong hastily asked, "What about my father? Did you ask him? What did he say?" Pei Nanshu shook his head. "Father said that he would listen to Big Brother's arrangements." Pei Yutong was shocked. F***CK. Is he my biological father? Is he going to abandon his biological son because he's afraid of my brother? Pei Yutong had no choice but to plead with Pei Yucheng. "Big brother, what happened tonight was an accident. Song Yaonan deserves a beating. I was drunk and couldn't control myself. That's why I hit him. Please, I have performed well for the past 2 years. Please give me another chance. I beg you, big brother. Pei Yucheng gently puffed out a puff of smoke, his eyes emotionless behind his glasses. Ching Imo, send him off personally. The assistant nodded and replied, yes. Then, he turned to Pei Yutong. Third young master, please. Pei Yutong sat there in a daze. Instantly, all the blood in his body froze. He felt as though the sky was about to collapse. He knew that his brother would never change his mind about the decision he had made. He was done for. After 2 years of hard work, it was all for naught. Pei Yutong hugged Pei Nanshu's leg tightly. Second brother. Second brother, save me. Pei Nanshu didn't seem to be able to bear it. He probed, big brother, third brother has been doing well these past 2 years. He has improved a lot. I've investigated what happened tonight. Although third brother was the one who attacked first, the other party was the one who provoked him. There's a reason for this. Third brother didn't create trouble for no reason. Pei Yutong nodded repeatedly as hope reignited in his eyes. Pei Yucheng glanced at Pei Nanshu with a faint smile. Why? Are you going to interfere? Pei Nanshu felt a strong sense of oppression from the other party's seemingly casual gaze. Cold sweat trickled down his forehead as he replied, I'm just stating the facts. Of course, I think your decision is the right one. Perhaps Pei Yucheng had been too restrained in the past 2 years, so he had forgotten how tyrannical his big brother was. How dare he question his decisions again and again? Pei Yutong was speechless as he watched all the reinforcements die. Lin Yen tilted her head and glared at him. She lowered her voice and said, see? I'm not close to your big brother. I don't even know what to say to him. How am I supposed to plead for you? Pei Yucheng's attitude made her suspect that what had happened that day had been a hallucination. Chapter 97. Pei Yutong clutched at this last straw of hope. I don't care. Daddy, you have to save me. You can't just watch as I'm sent away. I'm so weak, pitiful, and helpless. Can you bear to do that? Lin Yen replied, I can bear to do that. If he couldn't race, he would have to come back and inherit the family fortune. How weak, pitiful, and helpless. His ostentatious display of wealth had blinded the eyes of a poor person like her. Pei Yutong quipped, but Daddy, you've already accepted my red packets. Lin Yen felt guilty when she heard Pei Yutong. Her hands had gone soft because of him. This kid's red packets were huge. All 4 of them were 188 yuan. Why couldn't she control her hands? Lin Yen blinked and asked, her heart aching, is it too late if I return them to you now? Pei Yutong's heart ached even more. It's too late. My phone has been confiscated, and my card has been sealed. It's useless even if you return them. Lin Yen was speechless. Who asked you to be so mean? Who asked you to be so mean? Why did you have to accept red packets? Pei Yucheng, who was sitting on the couch, glanced at the 2 of them. Miss Lin, are you looking for me? Pei Yutong pushed Lin Yen hastily. Hurry up. My brother is looking for you. You're a liar. Lin Yen gritted her teeth and glared at him. Then, she hurried back to Pei Yucheng in a fluster. Yes. Yes. I have something important to discuss with you. Forget it. Who asked her to be so helpful? For the sake of love and justice, for the sake of her hot-blooded dreams, she had to give it her all. However, if she tried to persuade him, she might get herself into trouble. Hence, she couldn't just say that she was here to plead for Pei Yutong. They hadn't contacted each other for 7 days. Would it make sense for her to suddenly come here to plead for someone else? Her image would definitely crumble. Therefore, before pleading for leniency, she had to stabilize her own image first, right? Persona. She was madly in love with Pei Yucheng. She had even become a stalker. Hence, They had just confirmed their relationship. Absence made the heart grow fonder. They hadn't seen each other for 7 days, so how should she behave in a way that wouldn't be out of place? Pei Yuqing glanced at her. Really? Yes, the gears in Lin Yan's head spun furiously. She had recently learned how to write a character biography for the script. She tried to simulate the behavior of the lecherous personality. Hence, Lin Yan gritted her teeth and shut her eyes. Then, she whizzed toward Pei Yuqing like a train. Then, she threw herself into his arms. In the past, she had been forced to molest him. However, for the sake of her persona, she had no choice but to continue. She felt that she had committed too much sin. By the time Pei Yuqing regained his senses, the girl's body, which was mixed with the refreshing scent of the shower gel, was already in his arms. A trace of astonishment flashed across the man's usually calm eyes. In the blink of an eye, his eyes turned as dark as the night. His body leaned a little because of the girl's sudden charge, and he subconsciously placed one of his hands on the girl's waist. Lin Yan activated her acting skills, which she had recently honed, to make herself look like a young lady in love. The truth was that she was taking the initiative to get close to this man. She didn't even need to put on an act to know that she was in love. My important thing is, I miss you. Chapter 98. Pei Yutong was speechless. Hadn't she just said that they weren't close? Pei Yutong wasn't the only one who was shocked. The 2 bodyguards were shocked as well. The bodyguards watched as a casually dressed girl lunged at their boss. Their first reaction was to rush forward to protect her. Pei Nanshu, who was standing beside them, signaled them with his eyes and reached out to stop them. This wasn't the first time Lin Yan had approached Pei Yuqing. She had fallen on him the last time, touched him in the hospital, and done something even more disrespectful in the villa. However, this was the first time Lin Yan had taken the initiative to approach Pei Yuqing when she was sober. Besides, she had to say such mushy words. She was really shameless. Pei Yuqing was only wearing a thin, knitted shirt. Although one of her hands had narrowly avoided his body and pressed it against the sofa, her other hand wasn't steady. She pressed it against the man's abdomen through the thin fabric and could clearly feel the taut lines of his muscles. Oh my God. Damn it. Lin Yan hurriedly tried to stand up. However, she was too flustered and her hands slipped, causing her to fall again. This time, both of her hands were pressed on the man's body. Lin Yan watched as the man's clothes were wrinkled and felt guilty. I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. Lin Yan cursed herself inwardly, but she had to continue her act. She hurriedly said, Your eyebrows aren't eyebrows. They're the reflection of the moon in the water. Your eyes aren't eyes. They're the dazzling galaxy, and your mouth isn't a mouth. It's the last rose on this planet. I didn't mean to fall just now. I've been suffering from hypoglycemia because I haven't seen you in a long time. Pei Yutong was speechless. Pei Nanshu was speechless. The bodyguards were speechless as well. The onlookers couldn't help but gasp in amazement when they saw that Lin Yan had blurted out all these words without even thinking about it. Pei Yuqing seemed to be startled as well. Then, he lowered his eyes and chuckled softly. His voice was as hoarse as a cello. Hypoglycemia? Lin Yan coughed. Ahem. Yes. Yes, damn it, this is too shameful. For love and justice, she really gave it her all. Pei Yuqing's eyes were filled with ripples. He didn't say anything. Instead, he reached out to support the girl's waist to prevent her from falling. Then, he removed his glasses slowly. Lin Yan was speechless. Without his glasses, it was as if the mountain wind had blown away the thick fog. The man's charming eyes were completely revealed to her. Lin Yan's heart raced. Pei Yuqing, who had taken off his glasses, was simply mesmerizing. This was too much of a crime. Just as Lin Yan was reeling from shock, the man pressed the back of her head gently with his other hand. In the next second, a kiss, as gentle as a dandelion falling on a field and as gentle as a breeze caressing the surface of a river, landed on her lips, at a distance where they could hear each other's breath. The man asked, "Still low?" Lin Yen was speechless. Chapter 99. The bodyguards and assistants were dumbfounded by the sudden display of affection from their boss. Pei Yutong had just snatched the suitcase back from his assistant, but he didn't hold it properly. With a loud thud, it landed on his foot, causing him to grimace in pain. Lin Yen snapped back to her senses when she heard Pei Yutong's groan. She shook her head and scurried away. No, no, no. It's not low anymore. Her blood sugar had skyrocketed. Wasn't this first love? How could he be so good at flirting? Who could resist this? Honestly speaking, Pei Yucheng's kiss had been so light that she couldn't even feel it. He had only touched her once, and he had been very polite and restrained. However, it had made her heart race even faster than the last lap of the track. One of the bodyguards couldn't help but ask Pei Yutong, Third young master. Who is this woman? Pei Yutong replied proudly, "My father." The bodyguard was speechless. Pei Yutong replied, "My big brother's girlfriend. My future sister-in-law." The two bodyguards glanced at each other in shock. They had been working for their boss for years, and countless women had thrown themselves at him. However, they had never seen their boss fall for them. How could he suddenly have such an intimate girlfriend? After all, this was their boss's private matter, so they didn't dare probe further. They hurriedly got back to work. "Third young master, you should leave now." "Yeah, don't make things difficult for us." "Leave? What do you mean leave?" "I'm not leaving. I won't leave even if I die." Pei Yutong began to howl again. "Big sister-in-law. Big sister-in-law. You have to control me." Lin Yen snapped back to her senses when she heard Pei Yutong's howl. She had been so engrossed in his beauty that she had almost forgotten what she had to do. "Mr. Pei," Lin Yen glanced at Pei Yucheng and said tentatively, "I've heard about what happened to third young master. It's indeed wrong to drink and get into a fight. However, Song Yaonan isn't a good person either. I've even met him once before. He was clearly trying to provoke third young master and set him up. I'm sure that third young master didn't do it on purpose this time. He must have fallen into his trap." Pei Yutong nodded vehemently. "Big brother, big sister-in-law is right. That bastard provoked us on purpose." There was no warmth in Pei Yucheng's eyes. "The other party is provoking you. So you don't even have the basic ability to distinguish and control yourself?" Pei Yucheng's gaze was so cold that it made one shiver. Pei Yutong didn't dare to look his brother in the eye. He shrunk his head and didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Lin Yen, who felt immense pressure, replied meekly, That's true, but third young master is still young. It's normal for a boy of his age to be impulsive." Pei Yutong nodded in agreement. "Yeah, that's right. Isn't it normal for a boy my age to get into a fight?" Pei Yucheng replied, "Being young isn't a reason to make a mistake. I don't need to know the reason either. You've set the rules with me. Since you've violated them, you have to pay the price." Pei Yutong lowered his head even more guiltily. Chapter 100. It was no wonder that Pei Yutong had turned to her for help. Pei Yucheng was completely stubborn. Besides, he was the one in the right. After a few sentences, she felt as though she had been brainwashed. Trying to reason with him was impossible. Pei Yucheng was a principled man, so he wouldn't make an exception. This was too difficult to deal with. She wasn't the type to argue. She had never won a single argument with Han Yishuan. She had to compromise every single time because she couldn't out-talk him. Lin Yen sighed and shot Pei Yutong a look that said, "I've tried my best. Good luck. I'll burn joss paper for you next year." Pei Yutong knew this very well. He had been struggling because he wasn't willing to give up. The young man stared at the documents on the coffee table. The last ray of light in his eyes dimmed as he clenched his fists tightly. With reddened eyes, he said, I didn't fulfill my promise. It's my fault. I'll leave. Lin Yan had no other choice. She inched closer to Pei Yucheng and tugged at the man's sleeve gently. I'm sorry. I know that this is your family's business and I shouldn't interfere, but can you give third young master another chance? Pei Yucheng was speechless. Lin Yan replied, just give him another chance. Please. I beg you. Pei Yucheng didn't speak. His cold eyes darted from the girl's pleading eyes to the hand that was tugging at his sleeve. Lin Yan coughed softly. If you really can't do it, forget it. After some time, Lin Yan was about to send Pei Yutang off when she suddenly heard a man's voice. Pei Yucheng replied, sure. Lin Yan was speechless. Pei Nanshu was speechless. Pei Yutang was speechless. What had he just heard? Lin Yan looked incredulous. You agreed? Why is this happening? Why had he agreed all of a sudden? She felt that she couldn't persuade him. I can give him another chance, Pei Yucheng replied firmly. Lin Yan couldn't help but ask, why did you suddenly agree? Pei Yutang and Pei Nanshu turned to look at their brother. They knew their big brother's temperament too well. With his IQ, no one could convince him. His principles would never be broken for anything. Hence, Pei Yucheng had merely asked coldly, are you going to interfere? Pei Nanshu gave up on trying to reason with him. Pei Yucheng's eyebrows curled into a faint smile as he studied the girl. It's not wise to reason with your girlfriend. Lin Yan was speechless. It was a knowing strike. This was simply. The moment the man finished speaking, Lin Yan felt her heart thump wildly again. The man before her had been cold and aloof just a second ago. However, a second later, he had turned into a doting and compromising man. Pei Yutang was speechless. Wasn't this too discriminatory? Pei Yucheng added, besides, you can intervene. Lin Yan was still in a daze, so she didn't understand him. What do you mean? Pei Yucheng replied, my family matters. You can intervene in my family matters. Chapter 101. After Pei Yucheng relented, his assistant and bodyguards left. Pei Yutang and Pei Nanshu left as well, leaving Lin Yan and Pei Yucheng alone in the living room. Lin Yan had always felt that her relationship with Pei Yucheng wasn't real. She had also felt that Pei Yucheng was superior and distant from her. She had never imagined that Pei Yucheng would change his mind because of a few words from her. Pei Yucheng strode to the pool outside the floor-to-ceiling windows while Lin Yan trailed behind him. The night was as cold as water, and the stars shone on the surface of the water. Mr. Pei. Can I ask you a question? What is it? Well. Why did you agree to my confession so casually? Why did you agree to let me be your girlfriend? Lin Yan finally asked. She was really curious. Although she had thought of many reasons, she still found it unbelievable. Pei Yucheng tilted his head and gazed at her. Did you think that I agreed casually? Lin Yan, who was startled, hastily waved her hands. No. I didn't mean that you were casual. I was just surprised. After all, you don't belong to the same world as me. You didn't take the initiative to contact me, so I thought that you were just saying that casually. Actually, after I went home, I thought about it for a long time and I regretted it for a long time. I felt that what I said that day was too much. Actually, I just wanted to watch you from afar. I was disrespectful to you that night because I was drunk. I swear that I only have pure admiration for you. I don't have any other dirty thoughts. I didn't expect you to agree, so. Pei Yucheng glanced at her nonchalantly. So? Lin Yan swallowed her saliva and was speechless. So, why don't we break up? The word break up was on the tip of her tongue. In the end, she changed her mind and said, so. I will cherish you even more. I will love you even more. I will love you even more. I will be devoted to you until death. Pei Yuqing studied the girl's nervous expression and chuckled. Are you afraid of me? Lin Yan chuckled awkwardly. No. No. That's just respect. That's all. You're like an otherworldly immortal to me. I can admire you from afar, but I can't play with you. I feel that dating me would be an insult to you. Sigh, why is it so hard to break up? Big boss. I really don't deserve you. Pei Yuqing remained silent for a long time. Lin Yan couldn't figure out what he was thinking. She felt a little flustered and couldn't help but sneak a peek at him. In the end, she met the man's eyes, which were darker than the night sky. What if it's not just for viewing from afar, the man said. Lin Yan's heart almost jumped out of her chest. What? What was the meaning of this? It couldn't be what she thought it was. Pei Yuqing reached out and gently massaged the girl's neck. Don't be nervous. I've told you that our relationship won't affect your life. You don't have to change your attitude, view, or even the way you address me. Everything can be done in a way that makes you comfortable. Lin Yan had initially wanted to break up with him, but her heart started to crumble because of his words. He really was a celestial boyfriend. Chapter 102. Lin Yan had no idea how she got back to her apartment. She felt like she was floating in the air. She had been dating Han Yishuan for years, but she had never felt so dizzy before. She had to calm down. She had to wake up early tomorrow for her photo shoot. Lin Yan had just laid down when her phone rang. This car isn't going to kindergarten, had typed, big sister-in-law. I will never forget the favor of saving my life. If you need me in the future, I will do anything for you, even if I have to climb a mountain of swords or plunge into a sea of flames. This car isn't going to kindergarten, had typed, but big sister-in-law, your progress is a little slow. Why are you meeting Mr. Pei and Miss Lin? This car isn't going to kindergarten, had typed, why don't I send my brother to your bed? That would be the fastest way to get to know him. Big sister-in-law, will you consider it? Lin Yan was speechless. Could they not talk about such things in the middle of the night? Was she even going to sleep? Misty City amid the setting sun had typed, forget it. I'm not that kind of person. Lin Yan's face darkened as she replied. Then, she turned on the silent mode and lay down to sleep. The next morning, Lin Yan woke up early. On her dressing table, there was a mess of cosmetics and skincare products. Other than some that had been given to her by her sponsors, she had bought them randomly. She wasn't interested in these things at all. Lin Yan rummaged through the mess and found a bottle of Nature Hall's Ice Muscle Lotion. She applied it to her face. She still knew about this kind of reliable national brand. Then, she seriously did some basic skin care. Makeup was out of the question. Her skill points were really not on this kind of skill. Finally, she opened the wardrobe and glanced at it. The clothes she bought were all black and very loose. They were very comfortable to wear, but their aesthetics were indescribable. When she wore them, she looked like an old man buying vegetables at the market. She had used all the money she had received to pay for her rent, and a portion of it had been transferred to her mother's account. She only had some living expenses left, but she didn't have the funds to buy clothes. Hence, she had no choice but to choose a white dress. She recalled that when she had met Pei Yuqing the night before, she had been wearing the baggy pants and top that she had bought herself. She hadn't looked feminine at all. Pei Yuqing's gaze. Was there something wrong with him? Lin Yan. Wang Jingyang knocked on the door. Lin Yan got changed and opened the door. Wang Jingyang sized her up and gave her a look of disdain as usual. You haven't done anything for the past few days. I thought you were hacked to death at home by your fans. Lin Yan rolled her eyes at him. I told you that I'm cultivating in seclusion. I remember you are taking photos today. Do you want me to send you there? Wang Jingyang asked. Lin Yan shook her head. It's fine. I don't want anyone of the opposite sex within 10 steps of me. The corner of Wang Jingyang's mouth twitched. All right then, be careful. Lin Yan waved her hands. Okay. Wang Jingyang looked at her, wanting to say something but hesitating. In the end, he muttered, don't be so hard on yourself. If you really can't do it, you can quit. Well, at least you still have me. Lin Yan nodded gratefully and patted Wang Jingyang's shoulder. Got it. Thank you. You're indeed my best brother. Wang Jingyang, brother my ass. Chapter 103. Lin Yan greeted Wang Jingyang and prepared to head downstairs. However, she had barely taken a few steps when her dress, which was too long, caught on her high heels and tore it. Lin Yan cursed out loud. F***ck. This is my most expensive dress. Wang Jingyang rubbed his forehead, looking gloomy. Don't wear it if you don't like it. Don't make things difficult for yourself. Lin Yan stroked her chin. You're right. How am I supposed to escape if I'm dressed like this? Wang Jingyang was speechless. Lin Yan slipped back to her room and changed into a set of comfortable sportswear. This was Lin Yan's first film after her comeback. Zhao Hongling and Duo had come to pick her up personally. Lin Yan put on a mask and cap as she got into the car. Why did you come down dressed like this? Duo looked disdainful. Lin Yan sighed. I was wearing a dress, but my high heels tore it. Besides, I'm not used to wearing dresses. You have to make do with it. Duo was speechless. How did you manage to create this image? How can you be so crude? It's fine as long as you're dressed appropriately. I don't have any requirements. It's still early. You can take a break, Zhao Hongling said as she drove. Hee. Sister Ling is the best. Lin Yan replied gleefully. She had recovered from her stress disorder and could drive on her own. However, she still had to work hard to buy a car. She couldn't let Sister Ling fetch her all the time. Soon, they arrived at the location where the filming crew would be taking photos. Lin Yan was the first artist to arrive. When she arrived, the other artists weren't there yet. Only a group of crew members were busy preparing the set and lighting. She had just reached the entrance when she heard whispers and strange gazes. Hey, look! Lin Yan. Lin Yan is here. F***ck. It's really her. Doesn't she like to wear a white dress every day? Doesn't she look like a delicate white lotus? I almost couldn't recognize her today. She must have changed her clothes because she's afraid that the fans might recognize her and beat her up. I've been in the entertainment industry for so long, but this is the first time I've seen such a disgusting woman. She only knows how to pretend to be weak to ride on other people's popularity. That's right. She's just a high school graduate. How dare she leech off Shin Chaomu and the others? She even claims that she's Han Yishuan's girlfriend. She's insane. I don't know how he managed to sneak into our production team. I'm afraid he's interested in Mr. Pei's popularity. He's out of his league. Duo noticed that their words were getting louder and louder. She hastily pressed Lin Yan's arm. Bear with it even if you're unhappy. Pretend that you didn't hear anything. You have the lowest status in this crew. Besides, they're right. Lin Yan was speechless. Personal assistant? Zhao Hongling said, given your current situation, it's best to keep a low profile. No matter what happens, don't give any response. Zhao Hongling was worried about Lin Yan's ability to manage public relations. Hence, she told her to keep a low profile and not do anything. Lin Yan replied obediently, got it. I've even downloaded the game. I'll play my game later. Chapter 104. Lin Yan found a secluded corner and sat down. She put on her earphones and began to play Arena of Valor. She hadn't played in a long time, and her ranking had dropped to bronze. She had nothing better to do. Duo stared at Lin Yan, who seemed unreliable. She couldn't help but ask Zhao Hongling, Sister Ling, what are you thinking? Although Lin Yan has been assigned to work under you, she isn't under any control. She only listens to her sister and her assistant, which is why she has ruined everything that she has been able to do. She is just a pile of mud that can't be helped. She has ruined all the resources that you have worked so hard for. Even your reputation has been tarnished. In my opinion, you shouldn't care about someone like her. Zhao Hongling was expressionless as she replied calmly, since I have signed her, I have to be responsible for her. However, if she continues to be stubborn, I can't help her. After all, she was in a precarious situation. Duo knew that Zhao Hongling was a principled person, so she wouldn't be able to change her mind. Hence, she could only mutter under her breath. I hope she doesn't cause any trouble, Sister Ling, who is the female lead of this movie. Why is the production team being so secretive? They haven't announced the makeup yet. Duo scanned the room before she pressed on curiously. Zhao Hongling replied, we will find out soon. Duo nodded. You're right, the makeup artist had to appear today. After a while, a commotion broke out at the entrance. A group of bodyguards and assistants escorted a female artist to the studio. Duo's face fell when she saw the woman in the middle. Jiang Sifei. Jiang Sifei had exquisite makeup on today and was wearing the latest Chanel dress. The slim cut accentuated her femininity and figure. She was dazzling and looked like a goddess. The woman in the champagne-colored suit beside her was House of Millions Media's top manager, Zhu Manqian. She was also Jiang Sifei's current manager. As soon as she saw the two of them, Duo's anger rose. Why is she here? Zhao Hongling's eyes flickered, but she remained silent. Jiang Sifei, who seemed to have seen them, didn't seem to have any intention of avoiding them. Instead, she turned around and walked toward Zhao Hongling. Jiang Sifei stood in front of Zhao Hongling and glanced at Lin Yan, who was engrossed in her game. She smiled and greeted her politely. Sister Ling, what a coincidence. Did you bring your artist here for a makeup test? Zhu Manqian chuckled when she saw Lin Yan. She raised her eyebrows and said exaggeratedly, Director Zhao, are you serious? I merely took Sifei with me, yet you're only capable of managing artists like her? I heard that she's playing what's the female lead again? Oh, the fourth female lead? Zhu Manqian caressed her red nail polish as she said proudly, what a coincidence. Our Sifei is also here for a makeup test. However, Sifei is the female lead of this movie. After all, she has just joined our company. Take it as a small welcome gift from me as her manager. Jiang Sifei was the female lead of this movie? Chapter 105. Zhu Manqian sneered sarcastically. You can't say that. A good bird chooses a good tree to nest in. It's only right and proper. Sifei is such a good person. Isn't it a waste if she continues to follow an incompetent manager? Who are you calling incompetent? If it weren't for Sister Ling, would she be where she is today? How dare she strut around in front of Sister Ling? Jiang Sifei's face darkened when she heard this. She hated it when people attributed her success to Zhao Hongling. It was as though she was nothing without Zhao Hongling. She had been Zhao Hongling's puppet for so many years and had had enough of it. Besides, a small company like Star Entertainment wouldn't be able to provide her with any better resources. Zhu Manqian crossed her arms. If she was capable, why couldn't she get a decent female lead role? Didn't she see what kind of roles she gave our Sifei before? She was either a country girl or a delinquent. TSK, I'm giving Sifei the role of the lead actress alongside Mr. Pei. Many people are dying to get this opportunity. Jiang Sifei's expression softened a little when she heard this. She was glad that she had made the decision to join House of Millions Media. After all, House of Millions Media was a subsidiary of Triumph Entertainment. It had recently been taken over by Triumph Entertainment's daughter, Lin Shia. Naturally, she didn't lack resources. You. Sister Ling did this for, Duo wanted to retort, but Zhao Hongling stopped her. Actually, Jiang Sifei's looks were average. Zhao Hongling had chosen her because she felt that she had good potential and that she was good at acting. Hence, she had given her artistic films with deep meanings. She had hoped that Jiang Sifei would walk the path of a capable actress. The country girl that Zhu Manxian had mentioned was Jiang Sifei's masterpiece. She had won the Golden Palm Award for Best Supporting Actress. She had been confident that Jiang Sifei would win the Best Actress award if she had a few more years. It was a pity that Jiang Sifei had been blinded by the fame and fortune of the entertainment industry. Meeting One's Match had a good cast and was a big production. It was a movie that could be screened on the big screen. However, it was a commercial film with a male lead. She had read the script. The female lead was just a pretty face in the movie. Her role was to serve as a foil to the male lead. Jiang Sifei's performance in this role was beneath her. Besides, she wasn't good-looking enough to play this role. However, Zhao Hongling knew that Jiang Sifei wouldn't listen to her no matter what she said. Hence, she kept quiet. The reporters who had come to visit Jiang Sifei arrived one after another. All of them swarmed over to Jiang Sifei. This was Zhu Manxian's usual method of creating hype. These reporters must have been specially invited by her after she released the news. The reporter replied, "Sifei, I heard that you have joined a new company, House of Millions Media. The female lead in Meeting One's Match is the first role that the new company has accepted for you. It's your first time acting with Mr. Pei. What are your thoughts?" Jiang Sifei replied, "I'm very excited to be working with Mr. Pei. I also want to thank my company, House of Millions Media, and my manager, Miss Zhu, for helping me secure this role. Working with House of Millions Media was the wisest decision I've ever made." Chapter 106. Jiang Sifei glanced at Zhu Manxian. "This," Zhu Manxian quipped, "someone purposely obstructed Sifei's career and forced her to accept lousy films. Sifei couldn't take it anymore, so she chose to leave. I hope that someone knows how to behave. Don't treat your artist as a money-making tool." Compared to Jiang Sifei's crowd, Zhao Hongling's side was deserted. There was no one around. Duoduo's eyes were bloodshot as she glared at the two of them. "That ingrate. I'm so angry. Why are you so smug? If it hadn't been for Sister Ling, would she be where she is today? Not only is she ungrateful, but she is also trying to smear my name. No, I have to make things clear to the reporters. It's not what she said." Duo tried to squeeze her way through the crowd, but Jiang Sifei was surrounded. The reporters' attention was on Jiang Sifei, so no one was paying attention to them. One of the cameramen shoved Toto, causing the heavy equipment to slam into Toto. "Ah!" Duo staggered a step back and yelped in pain. Lin Yan, who had been playing games in a corner, removed her earphones and stretched lazily. Just as Duo was about to be knocked down again, Lin Yan grabbed her arm and pulled her aside. "Lin Yan, why are you pulling me? I have to make things clear to them." Duo blurted out anxiously. "Don't be anxious. It's easy to be the center of attention and make them listen to you," Lin Yan replied calmly. Duo replied, "Easy for you to say. Who would listen to us? In the entertainment industry, people like us have no right to speak." Lin Yan was naturally aware of this. She didn't retort. Instead, she stood behind the reporters and said calmly, "Hello, everyone. Excuse me. Is there anyone who would like to interview me? F***CK. Who are you? Get lost." One of the reporters didn't even look back as he continued to interview Jiang Sifei. Lin Yan grinned. "I'm Lin Yan." The moment Lin Yan spoke, the entire place fell silent. After a few seconds, everyone turned to look at the person who had spoken. F***CK. Lin Yan? Is that Lin Yan? Are you serious? Hadn't Lin Yan never accepted interviews? Every time, it's her assistant who comes forward. Lin Yan coughed softly. Ahem. Hello, everyone. That's me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. The female lead at the center of the scandal was interviewed in person, which was much more explosive than the female lead's interview in this movie. What did Lin Yan's name represent? Her name meant gossip and breaking news. A few reporters from magazines and online platforms that focused on gossip couldn't help but rush over. However, there were many mainstream platforms that didn't care about her. Hence, they didn't make a move. Besides, they had been hired by Zhu Manxian. Naturally, they wouldn't leave. Lin Yan scanned everyone and grinned. Today, I will tell you everything I know. I can answer everything you want to know. Lin Yan replied, oh yeah. For example. Shen Xiaomu and I, the eyes of the remaining reporters lit up, and a small group of them ran over. Lin Yan quipped, Anne. The secret that I have to tell Wei Shifeng. As soon as she finished speaking, another group of reporters rushed over. Even the reporters that Zhu Manxian had hired couldn't hold back any longer. Lin Yan quipped, what happened between me and Tang Jiaye that night? What happened between me, Han Yishuan, and Lin Xie? Why is Mr. Tang Jiaye involved in this? In an instant, almost all the reporters turned their cameras to face Lin Yan and dashed toward her with their cameras and microphones. There were many A-listers in the industry, and Zhang Sifei wasn't the most outstanding one. She didn't have much gossip to talk about. Chapter 107. Some time ago, Lin Yan had caused a scandal with Lin Xie and Han Yishuan. Then, she had vanished without a trace, causing them to lose a lot of sales. After a long time, Lin Yan finally resurfaced. The moment she did, the entire entertainment industry was shaken by the scandal. This time, it was with Mr. Pei, and there was a picture of the truth. It was a pity that both parties denied it the moment it came out. No one in the entertainment industry dared to write about Pei Nanshu scandals. Hence, such a huge and enviable gossip died down. It had never occurred to them that Lin Yan, who had never accepted interviews personally, would appear before the media. This was a ruthless person who could casually make big news out of anything he said. Today's trip was truly worth it. At the thought of this, the reporters went crazy. Regardless of whether they were from the mainstream media or the tabloids, they couldn't care less about being reserved. All of them swarmed over and completely forgot about Zhang Sifei. Who doesn't want traffic these days? Even the staff on the side unconsciously put down the work in their hands and stretched their necks to look over. Zhang Sifei, who had been the center of attention, was suddenly deserted. She stood there awkwardly in her luxurious gown. Zhu Manxian didn't expect that Zhao Hongling's underling would steal all the limelight with just a few words. Her face darkened. Hello. Hello. Reporter Jiang. Reporter Feng. Where are you going? She had spent a lot of money and connections to hire these reporters to support Zhang Sifei. In the end, they had all gone to Lin Yan. What was going on? Wasn't she just making a wedding dress for someone else? Lin Yan, that little b***tch. How dare she try to gain popularity by rubbing her head? Zhu Manxian hadn't expected that Lin Yan would be this shameless. If anyone else had been scolded like this, they would have hidden away like a coward. She, on the other hand, actually swaggered out on her own. Unfortunately, those reporters were really hooked by her. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth curled up as she grinned at Zhu Manxian. Zhu Manxian was infuriated. It was all thanks to Lin Xie. In order to smear her name, Lin Xie had done everything she could to create a scandal. She had even brought up Pei Qian's name. In that case, she would make good use of her unique resources and turn her disadvantage into an advantage. She used the knife that Lin Shia had used to stab her. Duo glanced at the reporters and recalled how Lin Yan had said that she had millions of haters. She was at a loss for words. Director Jiang Yiming and producer Feng Anhua, who had just entered the room, had assumed that the female lead, Jiang Sifei, would be surrounded by the reporters. They hadn't expected that Jiang Sifei would be standing alone in a corner. Lin Yan had managed to stir up all the reporters with just a few words. Producer Feng, look at this. What a scandal. We were just taking our photo, and it turned out like this. Jiang Yiming frowned. A glint flashed across Feng Anhua's eyes, and he said in a relaxed tone, it's fine, it's fine. Let her be. Why not take this kind of free publicity opportunity? She had been blacklisted by Triumph Entertainment for spreading rumors about Han Yishuan and Lin Shia. Logically speaking, the crew did not want to use such a troublesome artist. Chapter 108. Instantly, all the reporters swarmed over and aimed their cameras in Lin Yan's direction. Lin Yan didn't tell anyone that she had been suffering from depression and insomnia ever since she had returned to the country. Perhaps because of the change in her mentality, she had been improving day by day, even though she hadn't done anything on purpose. She had been busy with her studies, and her diet had returned to normal. Her long-term insomnia had improved as well. She had simply gone to the bathroom in the morning, and her skin was in excellent condition. She was wearing a simple black sweater and a pair of slim jeans that accentuated her long, slender legs. Her long hair cascaded down her shoulders like strands of silk. She hadn't put on any makeup, and her skin wasn't as pale as it used to be. Instead, it was as fair and flawless as white jade. Not even her pores could be seen, and her skin glowed with a natural red. The girl removed her cap slowly, revealing her features. She had an exquisite nose, and her lips were the color of cherry blossoms. Her eyebrows looked as though they had been dyed with ink, and the corners of her peach blossom eyes were slightly arched. They shimmered like stars, and the lazy smile in her eyes was like the finishing touch to her beauty. Her entire face seemed livelier and livelier. Previously, when Lin Yan had spread rumors about Han Yishuan and Lin Shia, the paparazzi had taken a photo of her. She looked like an unkempt ghost. All the reporters had assumed that they would see an unkempt, gloomy, and hysterical woman. They hadn't expected to see such a stunning beauty. In an instant, the entire studio fell eerily silent. Lin Yan had been half covering her face with her cap ever since she had entered the room. She had been engrossed in her game, so the staff hadn't seen her clearly earlier. Now, they could finally see her face. If Lin Yan hadn't revealed her identity, the reporters wouldn't have dared to recognize her. After some time, they finally snapped back to their senses and started to whisper among themselves. What the F***ck? This beauty is Lin Yan? She has changed so much. Did she go for plastic surgery? If you look closely, her features haven't changed much. It's just that. How should I put it? She gives off a completely different vibe. Actually, Lin Yan is really good looking. Do you guys still remember the cover photo of Lin Yan that went viral on the internet? Actually, when Lin Yan had first debuted, she had exploded in popularity because of a photograph. It was a magazine photo of Lin Yan sitting in a vintage sports car. She was propping her forehead up lazily as she gazed at the sky outside the window. Her eyes seemed to be burning with passion. It was this photo that shocked the netizens. Even the blank and sad look on the girl's face was moving. That was how Lin Yan had gotten her first batch of fans. Just one photo could attract countless fans. Such a unique condition was something that many people in the entertainment industry yearned for but could not get. It was a pity that Lin Yan's condition deteriorated as time went by. Perhaps it was because she had lost too much weight, but her body had become thinner and thinner. Her beautiful face had become increasingly gloomy, which made people dislike her more and more. She had lost her natural liveliness, let alone her makeup and clothes. However, unexpectedly, after a few days, the girl who appeared in front of the public once again seemed to have been reborn and reborn. It was clearly the same face, but it was breathtakingly beautiful. Chapter 109. Jiang Sifei clenched her teeth in anger. That be *tch Lin Yan. How dare a lowly actress steal her limelight? Zhu Manqian sneered coldly. No wonder Zhao Hongling brought her out. She must have spent money on plastic surgery. Hee, your ex-agent really wanted money so much that he went crazy. Jiang Sifei folded her arms. She had no choice. She had no one else to work for after I left. Their voices were loud, so Lin Yan's eyes pierced through the crowd and landed on Zhu Manqian and Jiang Sifei. The corners of her mouth curled up, but her eyes didn't reach her eyes. Zhao Hongling had no one else to work for her because she had spent most of her energy on Jiang Sifei. Lin Yan raised her voice and said, I heard manager Zhu say that my manager, Miss Zhao Hongling, had given Jiang Sifei bad roles in order to earn money? Zhu Manqian scoffed when she noticed that Lin Yan had suddenly turned the tables on her. Why? Did I say something wrong? Miss Jiang Sifei, you didn't deny what your manager, Zhu Manqian, said, right? Lin Yan asked Jiang Sifei. Jiang Sifei's expression darkened. She didn't speak, which meant that she had tacitly agreed. She was too ordinary, so she had always been very concerned about her appearance. However, Zhao Hongling had made her take on unsophisticated roles and even made her look ugly. She had had enough of it. Every time she saw those comments on the internet that said she was ugly, she hated them to the core. Lin Yan's beautiful face, even without makeup, was like a thorn stabbing at her. Lin Yan sneered coldly at Jiang Sifei's tacit agreement. She scanned the reporters and said, all right then. In that case, let me take a look at Miss Jiang Sifei's works over the years. He wasn't talented and didn't have any other strong points, but his memory was pretty good. If I'm not wrong, Miss Jiang Sifei has taken on 5 roles in the past 3 years. Her first film, which was the role of the country girl that manager Zhu had disdained, was Jiang Sifei's first film. It was also the film that made her famous. Her first film had won her the Golden Palm Award for Best Supporting Actress. The second film, which was the delinquent girl that manager Zhu disdained, had missed the award ceremony, but it was well received on the internet and was praised by many famous people. His third film was a collaboration with Zhang Jie, the movie queen. It was nominated for the Best Chinese Film at the Lorraine Film Festival. In the fourth drama, she took on the leading role alone and was nominated for the Golden Palm Award for Best Actress. A month ago, Miss Jiang Sifei won the Golden Palm Award for Best Actress and jumped into the A-list. Lin Yan's voice was loud and clear as she finished her sentence in one breath. Then, she glared at Zhu Manqian and Jiang Sifei coldly. Everyone knows that most of these films are artistic films. Their combined earnings might not even be comparable to a commercial film or a melodramatic drama. Manager Zhu, Miss Jiang Sifei, both of you claim that Zhao Hongling is only interested in making money and that she has judged all of Jiang Sifei's films to be lousy. Do you think that the judges are blind or that the entire audience is blind? Or do you think that films that don't make money are lousy films? The entire hall fell silent when Lin Yan finished her sentence. Chapter 110. Although Lin Yan had a bad reputation and almost no one believed her, what she had just said was logical and logical. There was nothing wrong with it. Jiang Sifei's fame and reputation were inextricably linked to the roles she had taken on. Besides, everyone in the industry had acknowledged Zhao Hongling's talent. However, the moment Jiang Sifei had jumped ship, she had started to deny everything that her ex-manager had done for her. She had even denied her past. She had even complained that the roles she had played weren't big enough. Wasn't this too much? Jiang Sifei was speechless when she heard Lin Yan's words. Her face turned pale. Zhu Manqian, who had gotten carried away earlier, hadn't thought before she spoke. She knew that something was amiss when she heard Lin Yan's words. All the roles Zhao Hongling had taken on for Jiang Sifei had been failed literary films. Some of them had even lost money. Given the current situation, what else could they be other than lousy films? Zhu Manxian had never imagined that Lin Yan would use the awards as an excuse. She had even mentioned the judges and the fans. Lin Yan's words were so convincing that the reporters started to change sides. Jiang Yiming, who was standing aside, nodded in approval. Even a reporter who had accepted Zhu Manxian's red packet couldn't help but chime in. Actually, Zhao Hongling's plan for Jiang Sifei was perfect. With her qualifications, most artists would only be able to play minor roles for the rest of their lives. However, she managed to make it in just 3 years. She's already very lucky. Yeah, she met a reliable manager. It's a pity that she didn't appreciate it. Now that she is famous and has found a powerful backer, she thinks that those films are lousy. She even brought her new manager to mock her. Isn't she an ingrate? Duo, who had been afraid that Lin Yan would mess things up, had never imagined that Lin Yan would say something like that. The young lass stood rooted to the ground as she gazed at Lin Yan with a complicated expression. Zhao Hongling shut her eyes slowly and sighed heavily. At first, she thought that she could accept it, understand it, and be at ease with it. Her artists could stay or leave at will, and she would never force them to stay. However, when she heard Lin Yan's words and how much effort she had put in to fight for Jiang Sifei, she couldn't help feeling a pang in her heart. Zhu Manxian, who was flustered and exasperated, yelled, "Lin Yan! It was just a slip of the tongue. What I meant was that Sifei deserves a better platform and resources." Oh. So all her previous films were trash. Lin Yan wouldn't listen to her, changing the topic. Zhu Manxian was exasperated as a sinister glint flitted across her eyes. She hissed coldly, "Lin Yan, why are you pretending to be a fighter for justice? You're the most shameless person in this industry because you want to make money and become famous. What kind of manager will have the same kind of artist? What kind of artist is Zhao Hongling's manager?" Lin Yan raised an eyebrow. She had guessed that Zhu Manxian would do this. She replied calmly, "Manager Zhu, you're good at changing the topic. Unfortunately, everyone knows that I'm unruly and unruly. I've always been at odds with Zhao Hongling. However, Sister Ling has always respected the contract and has never kicked me out." Chapter 111. Pfft. Who would say that about themselves? The reporters couldn't help but laugh when they heard Lin Yan. It was true that Lin Yan and Zhao Hongling had been at loggerheads many times. Lin Yan's assistant, Lu Xiaoying, had even complained tearfully that Zhao Hongling had abused and beaten Lin Yan. In the end, it had been proven to be slanderous and she had almost fallen out with her management company. In the end, Zhao Hongling had stood up for Lin Yan. Besides, Lin Yan's words were too much. What did she mean by Zhao Hongling's emphasis on the contract? Wasn't she mocking Jiang Sifei for going back on her word and breaking the contract? She had signed a 5-year contract, but it had only been 3 years. Zhao Hongling had suffered a double loss and wasted 3 years of hard work. The reporters glared at Jiang Sifei and Zhu Manxian with even more disdain. Everyone had heard about House of Millions Media's aggressive attempts to poach talent. They hadn't thought much of it before, but now that they thought about it, they felt disgusted. Before Zhu Manxian could speak, Lin Yan grinned and added, "Besides, according to your logic, the artist is shameless, so the manager is shameless too. If your logic is true, then Zhao Hongling is shameless. In that case, wouldn't I have the same logic? Zhao Hongling is shameless, so her artist must be shameless too. So Jiang Sifei is shameless too? You, Zhu Manxian was rendered speechless by Lin Yan's sophistry. She almost vomited blood in anger. The reporters listened intently and eagerly. They wanted to grab a stool and some melon seeds. Why hadn't they known that Lin Yan was so eloquent? Her logical thinking was amazing. She was simply an expert at quarreling. Lin Yan smiled faintly and hid her achievements. Quarrel with her? She had never lost a debate competition since she was a child. She had represented her school in the national debate competition and lived up to expectations. She had made her opponent cry. Actually, she hadn't wanted to quarrel, but there was a prize for winning a debate competition. Besides, she didn't need to use her energy. All she had to do was move her mouth. Therefore, out of all the competitions, her favorite was the debate competition. Back then, when she went abroad and joined a team, she was eager for quick success. She competed crazily to earn money, but she made several major mistakes and almost lost her life. In order for her to settle down, her master had arranged all kinds of special training for her, including physical training, wilderness survival, and training such as Go and calligraphy, which forced her to cultivate her mind and cultivate patience. Moreover, he had also urged her to be admitted into the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in M-Nation to major in aerodynamics. Back in school, she was also a competition maniac. As long as there was a prize, she would go to any competition. At that time, the one she won the most was the debate competition. She had studied aerodynamics because she wanted to research the principles behind racing cars. This major was too obscure, and there were people in school who knew about her identity as a racer. If she were to reveal it, she was afraid that her identity would be exposed. Hence, she hadn't told Lin Shuya about it. She hadn't said a single word to Lin Shuya, not even when she was in danger during the competition or during the special training. She had almost lost her life so many times. Chapter 112. Jiang Sifei was no longer behaving like a goddess. She looked flustered as she blamed Zhu Manxian. How could she say something like that? If it was Zhao Hongling, she would never have made such a low-level mistake. She would not have given herself a chance to be blackmailed, and she would also be implicated. However, Jiang Sifei didn't dare to flare up at Zhu Manxian. She could only say anxiously, "Sister Qian, think of something. We can't let this news get out. If this news got out, they would offend the most influential people in the entertainment industry." Lin Yan was trying to kill her. Zhu Manxian, who had never imagined that her words would cause such trouble, panicked. Her face flushed red as she bellowed, "Lin Yan! Don't slander me. I've already said that it was a slip of the tongue. There were so many reporters today, and this matter was getting out of hand. They couldn't suppress it even if they wanted to." Duo sneered coldly and said, "Manager Zhu, it's useless to tell Sister Yan that it was a slip of the tongue. Let's see if the judges and fans will believe us." Zhu Manxian gritted her teeth. "You are clearly trying to sow discord. Even if you want to sow discord, you have to give us something to pick from. You said it yourself. We didn't hold a knife to your neck and force you to say it." Sister Yan asked Jiang Sifei repeatedly just now, and Jiang Sifei admitted it. While the two of them were arguing, they heard an excited scream from the entrance. The woman was surrounded by her agent and several bodyguards. She was wearing a Dior's latest fairy dress and walked in elegantly. The woman's arrival caused a commotion among the crowd. "Ah! Oh my God! Shuya! It's Lin Shuya! Why is Lin Shuya here? She didn't participate in this movie, did she?" Han Yishuan did participate, but it was just a cameo. She didn't even have to take a photo. "Ah! Shuya is so beautiful and elegant. What kind of fairy is she? Shuya, look over here. I'm your fan." No one had expected that Lin Shuya, the hottest actress in the entertainment industry, would show up for an ordinary photo shoot. The reporters were so excited that they almost went crazy. All of them were screaming her name as they dashed toward her. The girl's eyebrows were like black ink, and her eyes were like limpid autumn waters, stirring people's hearts. Especially the innocence on her face, which made her as beautiful as an angel. With just a glance, one would feel a strong desire to protect him. When Lin Shia had first debuted, she had attracted a large number of fans with her angelic looks. Lin Yen raised an eyebrow at Lin Shia's sudden appearance. Suddenly, someone pressed her shoulder gently. Lin Yen replied, "Sister Ling." Zhao Hongling wanted to comfort her, but she didn't know what to say. Lin Yen chuckled nonchalantly. "Sister Ling, don't worry. I won't cause a scene." She would lose control and cause a ruckus, but that was because she would still feel heartache, unwillingness, and hope. But now, she wouldn't. As soon as Lin Shia appeared, she became the center of attention. Producer Feng Anhua and director Jiang Yiming also personally went to welcome them. Chapter 113. Lin Shia greeted them politely. "Hello, Producer Feng, Director Jiang. I hope I didn't disturb you. I'm here to visit you." Visit? Who was she visiting? Everyone had a suspicious look on their faces. Feng Anhua chimed in suspiciously, "Visit? But Han Yishuan doesn't have to come today." Lin Shia smiled sweetly as she glanced at Feng Anhua. Then, she turned to the reporters and explained patiently, "I have officially taken over my father's subsidiary, House of Millions Media. Jiang Sifei is the artist that we are currently promoting. Meeting One's Match is Sifei's first film, so I hope that everyone can support her." Everyone was enlightened. So that was what had happened. She had come because of Jiang Sifei. Although Jiang Sifei's behavior was despicable, House of Millions Media, which had the backing of Triumph Entertainment, was much better than a small company like Star Entertainment. It was no wonder that Jiang Sifei would rather bear the brunt of the criticism and leave. A reporter seized the opportunity to ask, "Miss Lin Shia, there was a conflict just now. Your manager slandered the Golden Crown Award. Do you have anything to say?" Lin Shia didn't panic in the slightest. Instead, she scanned the crowd calmly and said, "I've heard about what happened from my assistant. First of all, House of Millions Media's mission is to recruit talented people with potential and acting skills. Personally, I have great respect for talented artists. Hence, we sincerely invited Miss Jiang Sifei and fought hard to get the best resources for her." Lin Shia's words were ingenious. First, she had cleared House of Millions Media's name. She had obviously poached someone else's talent, but she had used the excuse of cherishing her talent. Lin Shia added, "I'm very sorry. My manager was careless and caused unnecessary misunderstandings. Miss Zhao Hongling has been hurt." Lin Shia walked up to Zhao Hongling and said sincerely, "I apologize on her behalf. I hope that you can forgive her." Zhao Hongling shook her head. "Miss Zhao Hongling, please forgive me." Duo hadn't expected that Lin Shia would let the matter slide with just a few words. She was infuriated. "You tried to poach someone from my side, but you still want to rub salt into my wound and mock me? Do you really think an apology is enough?" Lin Yen watched calmly without any expression on her face. If it had been someone else doing this, perhaps it would not have been so easy to get over it with just a few words. However, Lin Shia's popularity and image in the entertainment industry were too good. As soon as she appeared, half of the reporters immediately switched sides. Furthermore, Lin Shia had lowered herself in front of everyone. Zhao Hongling had no choice but to accept her apology. However, once Zhao Hongling accepted it, the problem would be reduced to a personal grudge. Lin Yen watched Lin Shia quietly, as though this was the first time she had met this person. "Heh, innocent and naive, ignorant of worldly affairs?" Lin Shia's words made the reporters nod in agreement. Their eyes were filled with admiration and approval, and the anger they had felt earlier had dissipated. Lin Shia is young, but she's humble and courteous. Chapter 114. Zhao Hongling, who understood the situation, replied in a neither servile nor overbearing manner, "Miss Lin, you're being too polite." Jiang Sifei regained her composure the moment she saw Lin Xie. She regained her haughty expression. Zhao Hongling was merely a manager at a small company. Without her, she wouldn't even be able to retain her position as the director. Lin Yan, on the other hand, was a nobody. They actually wanted to fight with her. As long as Lin Xie said the word, she could solve any problem. Zhu Manxian, who had been flustered earlier, straightened her back and followed Lin Xie. She apologized perfunctorily, but there wasn't the slightest hint of guilt in her voice. "Director Zhao, I'm really sorry. Actually, I have already explained that it was a slip of the tongue." Who knew that Lin Yan would harp on my slip of the tongue? When the reporters heard Zhu Manxian, they instinctively turned to look at Lin Yan. Suddenly, they were reminded of something: Lin Yan. Lin Xie and Lin Yan. How could they have forgotten about this huge piece of gossip? A reporter with quick reflexes seized the opportunity to press on. "Xie, Lin Yan is here today. She has repeatedly spread rumors about you and Han Yishuan. Do you have anything to say about that?" "Miss Lin Xie. What do you think about Lin Yan's accusation that you're a third party?" "Yeah, Xie. Lin Yan is shameless enough to spread rumors. Aren't you going to pursue legal action against her?" Everyone's curiosity was piqued. All eyes were on the grudge between Lin Xie and Lin Yan. Indeed, as long as Lin Yan was around, there would be gossip. There was so much gossip today. Who would have thought that Lin Xie would suddenly appear? Enemies were bound to meet on a narrow road. There was going to be a good show to watch. Lin Xie was dressed extravagantly and elegantly, as though she was the focus of the entire world. Her eyes swept past the crowd and landed on Lin Yan. Then, she flashed a faint, mocking smile. That haughty, mocking smile disappeared as soon as it met Lin Yan's eyes. Soon, she regained her elegant and dignified expression. Lin Xie looked like she wanted to say something, but she hesitated. She had a complicated expression on her face. After some time, she shook her head and said, "No matter what, she's still my sister." As soon as Lin Xie finished her sentence, the crowd burst into an uproar. Everyone was stunned. "Miss Lin Xie, did you just call Lin Yan sister?" "Miss Lin Xie, what do you mean by that? What is your relationship with Lin Yan?" Lin Xie turned around and studied the shocked faces of the reporters. Finally, she nodded and said, "Actually, Lin Yan is my biological sister. Ever since I was young, something happened to my family. My sister and I only had each other to rely on. My sister has an extreme personality, but I have always given her whatever she wants without any hesitation. However, some principles do not allow me to continue giving in." Oh my God! What kind of earth-shattering joke was this? Lin Xie and Lin Yan were sisters. Two sisters fighting over a man. Lin Xie held back her tears and said, "My sister will be playing the supporting role in this movie. I hope that everyone will support her. I believe that my sister isn't a bad person. Thank you, everyone." God, what kind of angel is this? Chapter 115. They had been wondering how Lin Yan had managed to land a role in such a huge production with her trashy acting skills. Lin Xie had helped her. Lin Yan was the real ingrate. One of them was an actress with no qualifications and no acting skills. She had acted in lousy movies and resorted to unscrupulous means to become famous. She had even created rumors to slander others. The other was a top student from the film academy. She was talented, kind, and passionate about charity. She was known as the nation's angel. Everyone believed Lin Xie's words without a doubt. The girl's soft and sad expression aroused everyone's anger, stirring up the crowd in an instant. Lin Yan had been silent the entire time as she watched Lin Xia's performance. The corners of Lin Xia's mouth curled into a cold, mocking smile as she stared at Lin Yan. Then, she inched closer to Lin Yan and said in a heartbroken voice, "Sister. I know that you still hate me. When I was young, I gave you my toys. When I grew up, I gave you my cosmetics. I was willing to give you all of them. I was even willing to work during the summer to support my sister, but love is not a one-sided thing. Even if I want to give in, I can't give in this time." When the reporters heard Lin Xia's words, it was easy to imagine their reactions. Lin Xia mentioned her sister in an interview. Who would have thought that Lin Yan would be Xia's incompetent sister? All of a sudden, countless reprimanding gazes darted at Lin Yan. "Lin Yan, you're too shameless. How could you covet your own sister's man? Yeah. You hurt Xia just because she's kind. If you can't get her, you slander her. Oh my God. How could there be such a vicious sister in this world? She has tarnished the entertainment industry. She even claimed on Weibo that she was the founder of Angel's Shelter. Not only did she snatch Xia's boyfriend, but she also snatched Xia's charity. Why does she like to snatch other people's things?" Amidst the angry criticism, Lin Xia suddenly whispered into her ear. She lowered her voice and whispered in Lin Yan's ear, "Lin Yan, I've always been more outstanding than you since we were young. I've always done better than you. However, your life has always been so good. You merely relied on luck to surpass me in the past. Now, I'm going to show you exactly what you're made of. Right now, in my eyes, you're even smaller than an ant. You don't even have the qualifications to kneel down and wipe my shoes for me. In this lifetime, you're only fit to look up to me. Do you understand?" The corners of Lin Yan's mouth curled upwards when she heard Lin Xia. She didn't expect that after so many years of sisterly love, the sister she had risked her life to protect, would actually harbor such thoughts from the beginning. This time, she wasn't hysterical, nor was she bristling with anger. On the contrary, there was a sense of relief in her heart as if the dust had settled. Finally, the last bit of reluctance in his heart completely disappeared. Lin Xia chuckled softly. "Sister, stop struggling. In this world, no one knows you better than I do. Your flaws, everything about you, are all within my grasp. You are just a good-for-nothing trash." Lin Yan raised her eyes and scanned Lin Xia's face lazily. Her gaze was suffocating and intimidating. "Lin Xia, do you really think that you know me that well? When I see you as my kin, I naturally have a body full of flaws." Chapter 116. Lin Xia's eyes roamed over Lin Yan, looking cold and arrogant. It was as though she was sizing up the weak ant in front of her. In the past, Lin Yan had merely been lucky. She had been able to look down on her and even snatch the man she liked away. However, her luck had run out now. Whether it was the Lin family, Brother Yixuan, or everything that belonged to her, she would take it back. As for Lin Yan, she was a good-for-nothing. She wasn't even fit to carry her shoes. "Sister, if you need anything, you can tell me." Lin Xia stood before the reporters and told Lin Yan, "No matter what, you're still my sister. No matter what you did in the past, blood is thicker than water. You can't sever that bond." After Lin Xia finished speaking, the reporters started to speak up for her. "Xia, you're too kind. She doesn't deserve to be your sister. I've seen too many people like her throughout my years in the media industry. She doesn't have a bottom line at all." A bespectacled reporter hissed at Lin Yan. Everyone present agreed with the reporter's words. A female reporter in a red dress glanced at Lin Yan in disgust and chimed in, "After all, some people don't deserve to be called humans. As long as they can achieve their goals, they will resort to any means necessary. They will make use of anyone around them. What's the big deal about blood relations? Everyone, please don't say that. Sister must have been muddle-headed. Lin Shuya frowned slightly. She sounded sad and forbearing at the same time. Miss Shuya, reporter's son is right. You're too kind. Lin Yen is shamelessly taking advantage of your kindness. If you don't know how to protect yourself, you will suffer in the future. The female reporter in the red dress spoke solemnly. Zhao Hongling looked at the group of reporters silently. She frowned slightly. At this time, she wisely chose to remain silent. Zhao Hongling understood Lin Yen well. She had already sensed that there was something wrong with Lin Shuya. However, due to their relationship, Zhao Hongling hadn't said anything. Now, it seemed like there was something wrong with Lin Shuya. In fact, there was a huge problem. However, the situation was different now. Lin Shuya had the final say, so everyone chose to believe her. If she tried to explain to Lin Yen now, she might end up with the opposite effect. Lin Yen, you're really shameless. You went abroad to have fun, yet you made Shuya work in the heat for the summer. Are you even human? Shuya is so unlucky to have a sister like you. The reporter glared at Lin Yen, her eyes filled with disgust and disdain. Lin Yen adjusted her cap and grinned at the reporter. What happened? Did you leave your brain behind when you left home? What did you say? Hearing this, the bespectacled reporter scolded, You've flown into a rage out of humiliation and are starting to make personal attacks? The corners of Lin Yan's mouth curled up, but she didn't flare up. Instead, she smiled mildly and replied, I'm just reminding you out of goodwill. As a reporter, you should believe whatever others say. You didn't investigate or collect any evidence. Do you think you're out of your mind? Chapter 117. Then, Lin Yan added, Oh yeah, I just recalled that a few months ago, a female teacher was wrongly accused. She jumped off a building to prove her innocence. That was all because some reporters believed in other people's words and wrote nonsense online, right? The reporter's expression changed when she heard Lin Yan. When Duo heard this, he hurriedly said, I know about this news as well. It caused quite a commotion at the time. A few months ago, a female teacher was accused by a parent of abusing and beating her child for a long period of time. In the end, some unscrupulous reporters attacked the teacher online for the sake of generating more news without any evidence. As a result, the matter escalated. Many netizens read the unscrupulous reporter's article, which resulted in the teacher's Weibo account being destroyed. They dug up all the information about the teacher and even went to the school. Lin Yan replied slowly, This article hurt the teacher so much that she wanted to prove her innocence. In a fit of rage, she jumped off the building. About 2 months ago, the truth was revealed. The teacher had never hit the child. Lin Yan grinned at the female reporter in the red dress and glanced at her badge. If I remember correctly, you were the one who wrote that article. Reporter Li Yun? You didn't forget to bring your brain with you. You don't have a brain at all. I'm really curious. Are you going to find the next victim? Duo glanced at Lin Yan in surprise. Most people would only remember the content of the article. Who would have thought that Lin Yan would remember the person who had published the article? You. The reporter glared at Lin Yan, her body trembling with rage. She had almost lost her job because of this incident. Now that the matter had passed, she had never expected that Lin Yan would mention it again. Me? What about me? Are you going to fly into a rage because I told you the truth? Although you weren't the murderer, you did indirectly kill her. Lin Yan chuckled softly. Lin Yan, don't try to change the topic. This has nothing to do with you. The bespectacled reporter hissed coldly. A second later, Lin Yan's eyes landed on him. She sized him up and nodded. Reporter from Xingyun Entertainment Weekly. You seem to agree with what she did. Nonsense, I didn't, the bespectacled reporter said angrily. That's strange. Even though you don't agree with her, both of you have the same way of doing things. You said that Lin Shuya braved the heat to work during the summer so that I could have fun abroad. Did you see that? Lin Yen grinned. His words rendered the bespectacled reporter speechless. Or do you have enough evidence? For example, do you have records of Lin Shuya transferring money to me? If you do, show it to me. What are you waiting for? Lin Yen pressed on. Lin Yen, Lin Shuya is your biological sister. How could she spout nonsense? The bespectacled reporter snorted coldly. I think you're clearly avoiding the important and dwelling on the trivial. You're not willing to admit it. Lin Yen grinned. According to your logic, I'm Lin Shuya's biological sister. Therefore, the younger sister wouldn't spout nonsense. So the older sister would be the one spouting nonsense? The two of them continued chatting until a staff member came over to invite Jiang Sifei in to change. Jiang Sifei then left in her high heels, swaying her hips arrogantly. Duo looked as though she was about to cry. Sister Yen, you said that in front of so many reporters. How are you going to clean up this mess? She had behaved this way at the company, and now she was doing it again in front of the reporters. Lin Yen blinked innocently. How am I going to clean up this mess? Why are you asking me? That's what the reporters should be thinking about. Duo was speechless. Chapter 119. Soon, all the staff members crowded around Jiang Sifei. Soon, only Lin Yen, Zhao Hongling, and Duo were left in the waiting room. No one paid them any attention. Everyone crowded around Jiang Sifei. Jiang Sifei looked as though she was filming a fashion blockbuster as she changed into different outfits. The crew members were all praising her as they stood by her side. In the blink of an eye, it was noon. Lin Yen had been waiting for almost 3 hours. Zhao Hongling glanced at the time on her phone with a frown. She was afraid that she wouldn't be able to take the photo today. Lin Yen and Jiang Sifei's photo shoot was scheduled for the morning. There were other artists to take the photo in the afternoon. If Jiang Sifei took too long, Lin Yen wouldn't be able to take the rest of the photos. Duo watched Lin Yen warily, worried that she would get impatient and cause a ruckus. In the end, she realized that she was completely engrossed in the game. Duo was speechless. Sister Ling, thank goodness you asked her to play more games. Actually, her manager and artist didn't know that Lin Yen was obsessed with making money. She had given it some thought. This game was quite popular, so she might as well go back to her old profession. She could use her free time to earn some pocket money. Playing games and making money at the same time. Wouldn't that be great? Therefore, while she was leveling her account, she had secretly posted a substitute leveling post on the game forum. Then, she was waiting for a potential customer to come knocking. Sister Ling, I'll go and ask when it's our turn. Okay. Duo left to look for the staff. The coordinator was beaming as she spoke to Zhu Manqian. Sister Qian, Sifei has a great figure. She looks great in everything. She looks so classy. Hi, may I know when Lin Yen can start? Asked Duo. The coordinator turned around impatiently when she was interrupted. Why are you in such a hurry? The female lead hasn't even started yet. Why is she rushing us? Duo sounded anxious. No matter how much she hated Lin Yen, she had to fight for her artist. But she has already spent hours trying on her clothes and makeup. Sister Yen doesn't have much time left. High-level photographers like her had a full schedule, so they wouldn't have a chance to reshoot. Jiang Sifei was clearly trying to stop Lin Yen from doing her photo shoot. If she couldn't take the photos, she wouldn't be part of the publicity campaign. Jiang Sifei, who was leisurely choosing her clothes, glanced at Duo with a faint smile. Duo, Are you Lin Yan's assistant now? So what if I am? Plenty snapped. In the past, she had been in charge of Jiang Sifei. She had even been at Jiang Sifei's beck and call. Who knew that Jiang Sifei would be so heartless? Jiang Sifei, who was wearing a gorgeous gown, spoke in a condescending tone. Since we are so familiar with each other, I'm not used to having a new assistant. I think you are quite good at taking care of people. Why don't you come over and work for me? I will pay you double your salary. In other words, if you serve me well, I'll give you money to continue serving me. Duo nearly exploded in anger when she heard that. It was one thing for him to leave, but he actually wanted to poach her as well. Chapter 120. She had come from a small city to work. Before she had met Sister Ling, she had been doing odd jobs at the film studio. She had to carry things, carry props, and serve drinks. She had to do the work of several people. Sister Ling had noticed that she was diligent and had recruited her. She had become an assistant that everyone envied. Although she didn't know much, there was no way she would betray her benefactor at a time like this. Duo sneered coldly. There's no need. You should save that money for plastic surgery. Jiang Sifei's face darkened instantly. You, Zhu Manxian hurried forward to console her. Sifei, forget it. This lass doesn't know what's good for her. She will suffer in the future if she follows an artist like Lin Yan. Duoduo's face was dark and gloomy when she returned. Her eyes were red and swollen, as though she had been bullied. What's wrong? Zhao Hongling asked hastily. Sister Ling, I'm fine. Those people are too much. Jiang Sifei is clearly making things difficult for me. Zhao Hongling glanced at Duo with a complicated expression. After a moment of silence, she said, initially, I hired you because Sifei needed an assistant. All this time, you've been with Sifei. Actually, assistants usually follow their artists. After all, they're more familiar with each other. If you, Duo, who understood what Zhao Hongling was implying, replied agitatedly, Sister Ling, who do you think I am? I don't care who the artist is. I only acknowledge you. I will follow whoever you ask me to. I would rather follow a hypocrite like Lin Yan than an ingrate like Jiang Sifei. Lin Yan, who had been playing her game for no reason at all, was speechless. In the end, the photo shoot didn't take place. The planner had merely said, we will see how it goes. It was obviously a perfunctory excuse. We have been waiting for so long. How can we stop the photo shoot just because she says so? Sister Ling, why don't I speak to the director? Duo fumed. Zhao Hongling shook her head. She wouldn't dare do this without the permission of the higher-ups. In other words, the higher-ups had given their tacit approval. Between Lin Yan and Jiang Sifei, it was obvious who the production team would side with. They would only side with benefits. In the past, he had indulged Lin Yan because she could create hype. Now, he was indulging Jiang Sifei because of her backer. Let's go, Zhao Hongling said to Lin Yan. She wanted to console Lin Yan, but Lin Yan raised her head in confusion. Huh? Did he leave? So fast. Wait for me to finish this round. I'll definitely have a pentakill this time. Zhao Hongling, she and Plenty were getting anxious, but Tang Wulin didn't seem worried at all. She was focused on her game. It was as if he already knew that he wouldn't be able to film it. The three of them went downstairs and walked to the underground parking lot. Zhao Hongling called the driver. After listening to the driver's words, Zhao Hongling's face darkened. There are a lot of fans waiting outside and in the parking lot, Zhao Hongling said. Duo scrolled through the news and Weibo. Indeed, the video has been uploaded by the media. The location of the filming location has also been leaked. A lot of fans are rushing over, Lin Yan pondered for a moment before she said, Sister Ling, the fans don't know you and Duo. Why don't we split up? You guys go first. I'll think of something. Zhao Hongling rejected her suggestion immediately. No way. Lin Yan was still talking when a few people appeared at the end of the corridor. They were her assistant and bodyguard. The man in the middle was tall and slender. He was wearing a retro gray suit, and his perfect features looked as though they had been sculpted by God. The man's eyes were gentle, and the corners of his mouth were curved in a gentle smile. He looked like a spring breeze. Chapter 121. She had just freeloaded off Lin Yan's popularity, yet she had bumped into her in person. This was too awkward. Duo felt like crying. Lin Yan's enemies were everywhere. She could bump into them just by walking a few steps. Moreover, they had collided with each other. Mr. Pei. Zhao Hongling remained composed as she nodded politely to greet him. Anyone would be unhappy about what Lin Yan had done. However, given Pei Nanxiu's status, he wouldn't hold it against Lin Yan over such a trivial matter. The last time she had spoken to him, he had been rather friendly. She led Duo and Lin Yan to a corner. As Pei Nanxiu approached them, Duo tugged at Lin Yan's arm and hid in a corner. However, as they lowered their gazes, Pei Nanxiu's long legs suddenly froze. Then he turned around and stood still in front of them. Then, Toto heard a seductive voice in his ears. Miss Lin. It was Pei Nanxiu's voice. Pei Nanxiu had actually taken the initiative to talk to Lin Yan. Duo instinctively raised her head in shock. Although this wasn't the first time Lin Yan had interacted with Pei Nanxiu, she had been his fan for many years. Thus, she couldn't help but feel nervous and excited when she saw him. She was taken aback when Pei Nanxiu took the initiative to talk to her. She replied nervously, Hi. Senior, Pei Nanxiu chuckled helplessly. Miss Lin, if it's possible, please change the way you address me. I'm afraid I don't deserve to be called a senior. That wasn't right. Lin Yan muttered, just call me Nanxiu. Pei Nanxiu grinned. Lin Yan shook her head vigorously. This isn't appropriate. She didn't deserve to be called Nanxiu. What would happen if someone overheard this? Pei Nanxiu didn't force her. He took a shopping bag from his assistant and handed it to Lin Yan. Miss Lin, there are fans outside. It's hard for you to leave. Change into this and I'll take you out. Lin Yan was speechless. Duo was stunned by their conversation. To be precise, she was stunned by Pei Nanxiu's attitude toward Lin Yan. She had thought that Mr. Pei was here to punish her, but it seemed like that wasn't the case at all. Not only had he asked Lin Yan to call him by his name, but he had also come all the way here to help her. He had even prepared clothes for her. Could it be? Could it be that Mr. Pei was also? This was too unbelievable. As a loyal fan of Pei Qian, Duo felt as though the world was falling apart. Duo couldn't help but whisper to Lin Yan. Sister Yan. Why is Mr. Pei treating you so well? He's even helping you. What's your relationship with him? Lin Yan felt rather flattered. Anyway, it's not what you're thinking, it's already like this. If it's not that kind of relationship, what else could it be? Although she didn't want to think about it that way, Pei Nanxiu's attitude made it hard for her to not think about it. Lin Yan replied helplessly, What are you thinking? Do you think that Pei Nanxiu would be so blind as to fall for me? Duo shook her head and replied resolutely, No. Lin Yan replied, Isn't that obvious? Pei Nanxiu wasn't blind. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.